Listen. Listen to words embedded in the mystical sound of Oja. The wisdom carved into signs and symbols. Shh. Learn the meaning buried in Nsibidi, Uli, not forgetting the Yoruba Aroko. They are the signs of our ancestors. Mepanya gika ihu ihe n'Igbo jiri ulide kọwara mụ Nsibidi echefukwana Aroko. Aye.
Thank you, Amarachi, for that rousing call to all of us. So, hello everyone, and good afternoon. Welcome to the second live streaming event of Aroko Theatre Company's Speaking Without Voice project. So, as I said, this is like the second live streaming event of Aroko Theatre Company's Speaking Without Voice project. And our theme for today is Discovering Nigerian Symbols and Pictographs. Aroko is going to present to you some non-verbal communication modes from Nigeria. We aim to reveal to you what these symbols mean. In doing this, we also aim to enhance learning and understanding, thereby improving ways and means of interpreting and adapting these heritages, since they are part and parcel of the shared histories of Nigeria and the UK. In collaboration with the Nigeria Arts Society UK, artists Chike Azuonye and talking drum experts Richard Olatunde Baker and Ayon I, Aroko has trained people from all walks of life in this process. The training process has reached a diverse range of community sectors. These include people living with dementia and their carers, teachers who have received continuing professional development training, and volunteers who are given opportunities to participate and learn. We have documented research, developed skills, and presented high-quality interpretation of the symbols. The event will begin with a presentation, during which we ask you to mute your audio and turn your video off. There will be opportunities for interaction later on, and we will let you know how to participate in due course. Please note that the event is being recorded, so do not switch on your audio or video during the interactive sections if you do not wish to be filmed. Without further ado, we are privileged to present to you a leading expert and senior member of the Nigeria Art Society UK to facilitate today's visual art session. Please welcome Mr. Chike Azuonye.
My name is Chike Azuonye. I'm the Vice President of the Nigerian Art Society UK. I'm a visual artist. And this presentation is a collaboration between the Nigerian Art Society UK and the Aroko Theatre Company. I'll be showing you a number of symbols from Nigeria, and I'll talk about them and we will end up with doing our own artwork. But first of all, let us listen to the presentation, and then there'll be a time for questions and time for the practical work. Okay, I'll be sharing my screen with you, and it will be nice to hear your reaction. Here is the title of this presentation, which is Discovering Nigerian Symbols and Pictographs. And you can see behind me, I'm in my studio. You can see some of my works at the back with some of the things we'll be discussing today. So we'll be discussing 3 different communication systems. One is Uli, the other one is Nsibidi, and the third one is Aroko. Aroko is practiced among the Yoruba people of Western Nigeria. As you can see the map here, you have Oyo State, Ogun State, Ekiti, Ondo, and Lagos. This area, that's where Aroko is being practiced. Now, Uli is in Anambra, being practiced in Anambra, Enugu State, Imo State. In fact, every part of Igbo area of Nigeria, the Uli system is prepared. Now, in Nsibidi is a language by the Ekpe Society, and this can be found somewhere around Ebonyi State, Cross River State, and Akwa Ibom areas, and then of course the Abia State. Now, what is Uli? Uli is a design drawn on the body or on mud houses by the Igbo people of Eastern Nigeria. The art form is chiefly practiced by Igbo women. The drawings are linear and asymmetrical and often spontaneous, using local pigments. Well, I'm going to talk about the pigments later. The origin of the name Uli is derived from the Igbo names of plants that are processed to produce the dye used to stain on these designs. One of the symbols of Uli is Agwalagwo, which is Eke, the python. And this symbol means continuity, completion, and wisdom. There's in some parts of Igbo land, not everywhere, some parts where they revere the python, Eke. There are occasions when a child is born, the python visits the home of this newborn baby to bless the child, and then they give, in return, they give the python a white chalk, which we call Nzu. So, and the python will just walk away because the people revere it. It's a sacred animal, so they don't kill it, and it does not harm the people. So this is not practiced in every part of Igbo land, but in just very few areas of Igbo land that this is practiced. Now, the other symbol is Oji, kola nuts. Oji is a fruit, found in tropical countries, especially found in, areas, so many places in Nigeria. Oji, as you can see below here, is a fruit which is always given to strangers. When people come to your house, that is the first thing you give to somebody. However small it is, you just have to break it, pray over it, and then throw some of it on the ground for the ancestors. Because if you have an occasion, you always have to pour libation or do some prayers or incantation to the gods and to our ancestors. The prayer for Oji is never said in English. It's always done in Igbo. It's also a sign of welcome. And up here, you can see this part of the Oji here as a graphic design, symbolizing the 4 market days of the Igbo people. The Igbos don't have 7 days. They only have 4 days in the calendar. So this is what the Oji means. For those who haven't seen Oji before, this is how it looks. It's a fruit. And it can even be bought locally. So the other part of Uli is the sun, which is a symbol of life, love, and sustenance. And all these images are used as a non-verbal communication within the context that we're dealing today. The other symbol is Uli. In Uli is the symbol of the tortoise, which means smartness and cunning, resilience, and patience. You see, there's a story about the hare and the tortoise, which I'm sure most people are familiar with. When the tortoise and the hare were having a race, midway the hare started resting, and the tortoise overtook him and won the race. So that's a very popular story. So it's about smartness, being cunning, and resilience and patience. That's what really, when this is actually applied as a work of art, what it means. Another Uli symbol is the lizard, a symbol of agility, strength, and perseverance, and resilience as well. So what happens is that a lizard falls from a height and looks left and right and shakes its head and then said, "If nobody praises me, I will praise myself." This was aptly put very well during the last performance by Aroko. When this symbol of lizard was expressed very well. The next slide is a young girl being decorated with Uli, which is akin to henna. In the Indians and the Asia area, they use henna during wedding ceremony. Yeah, this young girl is being decorated. Maybe she's preparing for a rite of passage, and they're applying the Uli, which is made from natural plants, pulps, or even from wood, back of trees, the camwood, for instance. So that's where they get the pigments, which of course lasts up to a week, highest 8 days, and it washes off. Here's a woman painting Uli art. The black color there was from charcoal. You grind the charcoal and mix it with water. That gives you the background, the color here. And then the white area is a white chalk mixed with water. That gives that makes it possible for them to render this beautiful wall decoration. Here you have a group of Uli women painting the house, and this is done collectively. Occasionally, they go to somebody's house, paints that person's house. The next week, they keep moving from one person's house to another, decorating and helping each other to beautify their homes. And they work in harmony, and you can see the results of their handiwork. Here you have the women showing off their pigments. This is the yellow, and this is the red, and then there's a tool which they use to apply the Uli. This is an example of Uli wall painting. This is the sun here. You can see what they concentric, the pattern, and then some of the like the snakes of the skin of a snake, the patterns. They all use everything in their environment. Their cosmology, anything that is within their reach. So this actually could be the home of a chief. Elaborately designed, very bright colors, very nice. Here you have another wall decoration, an example of 2 lizards. And here you have the half moon and a number of patterns here. I was opportune to have gone to Liverpool, the Slavery Museum in Liverpool with Aroko Theatre, and we visited the Igbo compound. I was just thrilled to find out, how well they designed this Igbo compound with Nsibidi and the Uli designs. Now, we go over to the next topic, which is Nsibidi. Haven't finished with Uli. Nsibidi is an ancient system of graphic communication among people speaking different languages. This is indigenous to the peoples of southeastern Nigeria, the Ibibio, Efik, and Igbo peoples. Aesthetically beautiful and compelling, and also this language is encoded. And the Nsibidi can be drawn in the air as gestures, or on the ground, on skin as tattoos, or on houses, and on art forms, such as masks. So one of the symbols you find in Nsibidi is a unity. The right one is a woman, the left one is, the right one is a man, the left one is a woman. The middle one is a pillow, or the offspring, which means there's harmony. Where they are separated or face the opposite direction, that means there's this unity or divorce. Here is a sign of welcome, which is looks very beautiful, can be used in different ways. Also, for those who are used to the Igbo conference, we will see that this is a part of the symbols, part of the symbol they use for their that program. The Igbo conference, usually in at SOAS, School of Oriental and African Studies. Here you have another Nsibidi symbol, which is beauty. Even though it's an ancient language, you can see that this H here suggests that it is probably from the English language, but this language predates the advent of the Europeans or the colonial people. So it's an ancient language practiced way before the advent of colonial people. So these are some of the symbols, war, child, Eze. These are some of the ones that we currently see, because as a secret symbol of the Ekwe people, it's not usually in public view. So, but at the moment, people have managed to smuggle out about 500 of these symbols. But there are thousands and thousands of symbols not yet made public, because they belong to a society, a cult called the Ekpe Society. So this is another symbol, examples of Nsibidi symbols: markets, entrance, beauty, chief. These are all ways of representing different things in their world. And this is the cloth, the cloth they use, okara. You can see the leopard. You can also see the symbol of unity. You can see this one is a scorpion. So they tie this wrapper during their ceremonies. Now we go over to Aroko. Aroko is a system which is indigenous to Yoruba people of Nigeria. It's a symbol of secret communication, not understood by outsiders. Aroko symbols are coded and only understood by the sender and the recipient. There's always a middleman, and the message might even involve the middleman, and he may not know that the information was against him or about him. So there's a receiver, there's a giver, middleman, and a receiver. So these are some of the symbols of Aroko. This is two cowrie shells tied together and facing each other. And this is a symbol of agreement and unity. So below here is a cowrie shell. For those who don't know or haven't seen cowrie shell before, this is an example of a photograph of one. So chief's heart. In a conflict or feud, the head of the family or community could not settle, when they could not settle the conflict, the chief of the village will always send his heart to those in conflict. Once they see the heart, that means they should bury the hatchet or keep peace. He weighs a lot of authority. The orange is a symbol of love. Giving someone an orange is an expression of love. If the orange is not received, that means that the love is not accepted. If the middleman goes back to the sender without the orange, that means the love has been accepted. So orange, giving somebody orange is a symbol of love. Now, for most of you who haven't seen the symbol, I'm just going to stand up a little bit for you to see this. And the T-shirt here, which is what you're seeing there. The circle here is continuity. The human head is means human thought. The cowrie shell, which is here, I've explained it to you. We also talked about the snake and the collar knots. And then we also talked about the unity. But this one, ekwe, is ekwe in Igbo land is used to make galvanize people to war or to announce some important things for the society or community. The same applies to the talking drum, which is this one here by the Yorubas, which they use to announce important information and to send out secret messages to their people. Now, the use and application of Uli, Nsibidi, and Aroko in contemporary art and crafts. Uli, I've just used about three different symbols. One is from Uli, one is from Nsibidi, and one is from Aroko. So how are these used? Uli, for instance, is a dying art because during the advent of the colonial, they gave the people of Nigeria, especially where some of these practices are, that what they are doing is fetish, that it's wrong for them to be practicing and using Uli in their design. And so they kind of discourage people from continuing something that they've done for centuries. So eventually, some of these things were dying. And soon after the Biafra-Nigerian Civil War, things even got worse. So that means that a lot of these designs have to be rescued. And one of the ways of rescuing it is to start using it in a variety of different ways and incorporating them into contemporary paintings. So if you look at my painting here, you can see the Isioji here behind me. And so I use this in my painting. A lot of people started using it right from the beginning. One of the pioneers of this was a professor by the name Uchekeke and Obiora Udechukwu. So they used that to inform their work. Here is a painting by Professor Obiora Udechukwu, who used to be my lecturer. You can see he's using the snake in his designs and other elements. Then here is Tayo Adenaike. Sorry, Tayo Adenaike was a student at the University of University. He did his master's and fell in love with Uli. Even though he's Yoruba, he's actually working with Uli, which is mainly something done in Igbo land. So he's using it in his work. Now, this is my painting. You can see that I've used the color knot here, which is the 4 market days. Then the cowrie shell, which used to be a symbol of the currency in those days. And then the manila, which is a form of currency before the colonial period. Now, this is the manila here. You can actually Google it and see. So it used to be a form of money, a form of currency made of bronze and copper. Here, Babajide Latunji is a well-known Nigerian artist. He's done this work. It looks like photograph. It's actually a pencil drawing. It's about undying love. This is a symbol of using Aroko in contemporary way. And by the way, a lot of people use Aroko for their car plates. They use them for even some. These days they have university codes. They use them as a communication, medium. So they are putting Aroko in a different. In fact, there's even a drama show called Aroko. So Aroko is being used in a variety of different ways as well. For most of you that have seen the Black Panther film, Wakanda, you can see that there are images here and text that look like Nsibidi. They use some of the Nsibidi symbols, but at the same time, they also manufacture their own language, their own signs and symbols. So there is, endless ways of encouraging yourself to make use of those ideas. And you can see here on this chair, the symbol of Manila, the symbol of commerce and money here. So they utilize a number of ideas. So all in all, in contemporary use, people use these symbols, Nigerian symbols in different ways. Like here you can see on a shoe, on masks. This is Serena Williams being decorated with the patterns and CBD and things like that. So you can use it in a variety of ways. So these are some of the uses. And here is a graphic designed by Obioma Chinedu Anero. So this artist did is using different symbols in a graphic manner. So it's endless. Now it's not just in Nigeria that they use different symbols. You can in other world places, like we know that the dove with an olive branch is a symbol of peace. In Asia, they have the yin and the yang. And then the rose, when you give somebody a rose, it's a sign of love. So these are all non-verbal communication forms, just as we know that Uli, Aroko, and the CBD are all forms of non-verbal communication symbols. So they're quite rich. So today, in our work, practical work, we'll be looking at the themes of unity, love, strength, resilience, hope, especially as we're just about coming out of the, hopefully coming out of the COVID-19. So we've seen during the COVID period, and even now, a lot of unity, love, generosity of heart from so many people, especially the NHS staff and people looking after elderly people people showing love to each other, helping people in a very difficult circumstance. So there's a show of resilience, hope, strength. These are some of the things we'll be reviewing today. So I'm going to be leaving some of the images we discussed today when we come to the practical aspect. And I'll be doing some work myself, which I'll show you from time to time. And so this will be some of the elements you can use to make your own design. For those who have families, you can actually work together and produce one work or even do a card for the NHS. You know, it's endless what you can do with this information. So this is, in closing, this is a participant's storyboard. You can see that, this person used the tortoise to go around you know, so life is not very straightforward. So, and use the symbol of the snake to eventually get to the goal. And you can see the two cowrie shells, and this is the goal. So, I thank you for listening. This is the end of this presentation, and I'll be handing you over to Juwon. Juwon, thank you.
Yes, hello, Chike, and thank you very much for your enlightening presentation. It seems to me that these non-verbal communication modes have overlapping features that they share in common. Nsibidi consists of lettering and images created by secret societies. There is some speculation that Aroko is also used by secret societies in Yoruba communities. Aroko is pictorial as Uli, which is used in mud houses and body decoration. So Uli and Nsibidi both originate from southeastern Nigeria. So now, we would like to hear from you, our viewers and listeners, about what you've seen and heard so far. I've noticed that there's already a few comments in the chat section, which I'll be looking at shortly. Do you have any questions or comments? If you do, please use the raising hand facility on Zoom and wait to be asked to unmute by the moderator, or write in the chat section. And if you speak, could you please limit your question or comment to 2 minutes in length, yeah? Duration, that would be very helpful. All right, so I'm going to check the chat section, and if you raise your hand or if you have anything to say, please go ahead. Louisa says, I'm glad to be back. Hope you have symbols of Akwa Ibom and Cross River State. And CC says, and Abia, that was very interesting in Niala. So, Chike, any comments about that?
Yes, I've seen the question. Thank you very much. My answer to that is that yes, those symbols in CBD is practiced, like I said, in Cross River State, even as far as the Cameroon, and then the Igbo people of Nigeria. So those symbols are shared between even though they speak, these people speak different languages, but they understand this language. It's a language, it's an ancient language. You know, it's just like a Frenchman and an Englishman who, both of them don't understand each other's language, but there's a central language they understand. That is how it is. So I would just say that in CBD, in whatever form that we see it at the moment, because what happens is that it's only only 500 plus in CBD symbols that we have available, because there are thousands of them that are still kept secret. So we can only go by what we have. So that's my answer.
Thank you. So the Marika or Marika says, if the symbols are shared in secret societies, are we allowed to use these symbols?
Well, all I can say is that at the moment, people are using it as we speak.
Yeah.
I have so many artists. There's one called Victor Ekuk. I don't know if you heard about Victor Ekuk. He uses a lot of CBD. But what happened is that along the line, he started creating his own images, his own symbols. So when you look at his symbol, you wonder whether they're actually Nsibidi. So that's, yeah, I think you can use it because people are using it. It's everywhere. But
Marika says she's heard of him.
yes.
Okay, and Annie says, Annie Domingo, hello Annie, says, Amarachi was wonderful as usual. She set the scene beautifully. Okay, great. I'm sure Amarachi will be pleased to hear that. And then Rose says, is there a dictionary of Nsibidi symbols?
Well, not. I don't know whether there's a dictionary, but I know that online you can get quite a lot of information about Nsibidi. So I haven't really bothered to look for a dictionary of Nsibidi, but online you see quite a lot of material on Nsibidi.
Okay, and like Jay Nubian, and this comes from Halima, who's aged 9. She asks, are cowrie shells money?
No, they are not. These were money used in the ancient times. They are not. They are now things you find in museums and just used as jewelry these days. More than they have lost the value they used to have in those days.
They were used as money, maybe even up to about 100 years ago, probably.
Up to like Manila was being used until the 1940s even.
Okay, and then Shola Adeyemi, hello Shola. Shola says, given modern technological advances and the preponderance of other languages in everyday communication, including text speak, are these symbols still in wide usage?
Well, first of all, it depends on the one. For instance, I wouldn't say wide, but I would say that some of them are still in use. In CBD, I cannot say more because it belongs to a secret society. So they probably are using it because they're still Ekwe Society. It's a huge organization, covering Igbo and ethnic speaking areas of Nigeria. So it's quite huge, even to Cameroon. When it comes to Uli is used in some villages, but because it's a dying art, and also some of the villages are now built up with modern buildings, modern houses. You don't see a lot of Uli anymore. So for Aroko, people are using them in different forms. For instance, like I said, like couplets, and they're still using them in different ways by different cults and organizations, forming their own language, but borrowed from Aroko.
Okay, so Chinyere says here, I researched 14 years and located my father in Owerri. How can I learn more about these symbols and the culture? Are there other classes? Well, I mean, I can tell you for a fact that Iroko has like a resource pack and some information that you can get access to, but then maybe Chike has more to say about that.
Well, yes, I would have gone the same way to say that Iroko theater, can actually assist you in that. But also, there's quite a lot you can get from the internet. I keep mentioning the internet because I do a lot of research on the internet, about some of these things, and I can tell you there's quite a lot you can learn. There are books, there are some academic dissertations and theses about this, but they are not available to everyone. Yeah.
So I would suggest to Chinyere that if you get in touch with Iroko, and I'll give you the information at the end, you'll be able to maybe touch base with Alex and others and see if there's ways that you can get involved in doing much more with it. Hassan, hello Hassan. Hassan says, to what extent has the decline in the forms of non-verbal communication, Uli, Nsibidi, and Aroko, been as a result of Christianity and colonialism?
Well, yeah, first of all, I'd like to use this opportunity to introduce Hassan Aliyu. Hassan is the president of Nigerian Art Society UK. The platform in which we are doing this with Iroko, and I happen to be the vice president. And Hassan, welcome. So Hassan, in answer to your question, yes, I would say that Christianity and colonization of Africa resulted in a number of decline in this, because they gave the impression it was a fetish practice and something that is against Christianity, and made the people to stop using the symbols and knock down all the shrines that the people have built up over centuries. So it had a very, very adverse effect on this forms of non-verbal communication. So yes, I would say yes, it had a profound effect on the decline.
Chinyere and Hassan both say thank you. I'm wondering if anybody wants to actually say something. Is there anyone who would like to actually use their audio and speak to us? And Shala says thank you, Chike, as well. Is there anyone else who would like to actually speak? Anyone? Well, no, not so far. Okay, well, that's fine. So let's hear some more from Amarachi then.
Let's us dance. Setting our souls out in happy relations. Splashing our face with wet laughter, beckoning the rays of celebration. Let us release our minds to the learning of our symbols, the patterns redeeming us from the shackles of slavery. Beat me the drums, I come decorated in the patterns of the old. Tinyere m ịgba ka obi m wulie n'ọṅụ, ka ụzọụkwụ m dakọrịtaba n'ụdị ịgba gị, ka ọchịcha wapụta m n'ihu ka kpakpando. Hapụrụ m aka gị n'ịgba, beat me the drums, ka aka m yi n'ukwu ya arịwa m egwu, ka nza m fepụta ikuku udo, ka m fekwasa ndị lele m anya nwụri. Tinyere m ịgba. Beat me the drums gently, gently, gently. Etiwafana ya n'ike, tipụrụ m fobi m, tipụrụ m echiche na-eri m mmụọ, ka iru uju m na-awụpụta na ajịrịja m. Tinyere m ịgba, tinyere m ya n'ịhụnanya, tipụrụ m fobi m, tipụrụ m echiche na-eri m mmụọ.
Thank you, Amarachi, for the physical conversation you had that time with the instrument. I've noticed that there's a little, some more chat and some more observations. So I'm just going to read those to you before we go on. And this is from Rose. Rose says, I've done a lot of research on Nsibidi in the past and used it for my final major project. Please keep me informed if any organization decides to look into them further in the future. Okay. So yeah, Rose, maybe you might want to get in touch with Aroko as well. All right. So before I hand over to Chike for the practical part of this event, now is the time to use the coloring sheets and the other sheet containing the symbols and pictographs which you might have downloaded from the Eventbrite page. Otherwise, you can use your own plain paper and writing materials. If you'd like to ask Chike a question or for advice on your work, please use the chat feed or raise your hand and the moderator will private message you.
Hello, everyone. I'm back again. This time I'll be sharing the screen that I promised earlier, and I'll be doing some of the workshop. I'll be doing the drawing myself. So from time to time, I'll show you my progress. And if time permits, we would like people to show us what they've done and also to download, to upload their, to share their drawings at the close of this event. So I'm going to go back to my screen and leave it on some of those symbols, and then be creative and enjoy. So these are some of the symbols that you're going to be using for your workshop. And if you have any questions, please raise your hands, and I'll be directed. Yes? Yeah. So we have, just to let you know that we have about 15, 20 minutes for this event, for this drawing. So we'll let you know when we have about 5 to 10 minutes to finish. Yeah? Okay. Let's start drawing. Thank you. Here is my artwork, yeah? Can you all see it? That's my artwork, yeah? Yeah? So we're finishing the artwork now, and I'll be handing over to Juwon for the rest of the presentation. So thank you for listening. And thank you for all the drawings you made today, which I hope we'll have the opportunity of seeing. So I'll now pass you over to Juwon. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Chike. Well, I would love to see all the work you've done, the work in progress that everyone's created. So would everyone like to switch on their cameras and let us see what you've done? How about that? Because I see Jay's already done that, and that everybody else it'd be great to see.
Marika, that's wonderful, Marika.
Can you please, other people that have done stuff, can you please switch on your cameras and let's see what you've done?
You've got to see the picture.
Because at the moment everyone's still off. A lot of people are not switching on.
Wow, there's lovely stuff there.
Yes, Hannah.
Oh yes,
beautiful.
Oh, Debbie, yeah, wow, how?
Debbie, that was beautiful.
This is fantastic.
Excellent.
Elizabeth, wonderful.
Hello.
I like that. Thank you.
Thank you. You've inspired me today.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Isn't
Who
that
else?
fun?
Trevor,
Okay.
Trevor, that's beautiful. Trevor, wonderful. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Really nice work.
And Nathan, that's good. And Jay, I like your color, Jay.
Okay, so Tommy says I can't show mine as the. Hold on. Tommy says I can't show mine as the host has muted my video. Can't you do that? You open it, unmute it yourself, Tommy.
Oh.
You should be able to unmute it yourself. I don't know. I haven't reached Tommy. Okay, yes. Can you show us now, Tommy? Can we see it? Okay. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, Tommy, you're right.
All right. Cool. It's amazing that you've produced such interesting work in such a short time span. Would you like to develop your skills even more? If
Oh
so,
yeah.
please note
Tommy,
that
Tommy, that's beautiful. Tommy,
there's a free resource pack available for you to download from our project page. Who knows what you can create when you make the art in your own time and space? Wouldn't it be great if we could present the work you've created today to other people? We'd love to keep souvenirs of your work. We can do this if you take photos of your pieces and email them to us. Our email address is, and this is for those in particular who wanted to know before, info@irokotheatre.org.uk. And I'm guessing everyone knows how to spell Iroko, but I'll spell it just in case. IROKO. So info@irokotheatre.org.uk. When you send your photos, please add a short description of what you've done. If you're willing to take it even further, then maybe you could share your photo on some social media platform. You could add like the hashtag, so like hash Iroko SWV project, and tag at Heritage Fund and at Iroko Theatre. Looking forward to seeing your work online. And I noticed that some people had some more comments like in the chat, so I'm going to read the chat before we go any further.
and Juwon, if they could also put their names as well on the wall.
Yeah, so yeah, so put your names, obviously put your names like when you send stuff, or yeah. So Debbie says, so great to understand the body paint symbols now. Thank you. Elizabeth says, loved Amarachi's vibrancy and the symbols on her body. Beautiful, quite magical. Louisa says, well represented, thanks. And then Louisa says, many of these symbols were used on our native clothing. They haven't died out. Oh, sorry, they haven't died out, but sadly, there's a lack of understanding of their meaning. And then Amma says, thank you. No, it's Chike, not Chika. Yeah, Chike. All right. And then Debbie says, great ideas for onwards. Thank you. Louisa says, great. I'll email mine to you. And Halima from Jay says, this is fun. And Halima is 9 years old. So I'm glad, Halima, that felt, empowered to say something. Well done. Fabulous. Okay. And Rose says, thank you, Chika. Your work is amazing. Yes, I agree. Isn't it great? So we are approaching the end of our event. Have you had a good time? Jay says, I can get one as a tattoo. Wow, that's an interesting thought. Let me see what he said then fully, actually. So that's quite interesting. Yeah, I can get one as a tattoo from Lukman. Oh, so Lukman is age 15. And Chinyere says, this has been very educational. Thank you. Amma says, apologies. Thank you, Chike and Jewel. Fantastic insight. We'll definitely be emailing for more information. Cool. All right. So, as I said, we're approaching the end of the event. Have you had a good time? I'm presuming you have. We hope you have anyway. Before we say goodbye, we'd like to draw your attention to Iroko's COVID-19 fundraising campaign. As you know, these are uncertain times we're living in. We have a platform called The Big Give, Iroko COVID-19 Support Appeal. You can find out more on our website at www.irokotheatre.org.uk. Your donations will be highly appreciated. And we must say thank you very, very much to the Heritage Lottery Fund for supporting this project. I think there were one or two more comments. I'm just going to read that quickly. Thank you, Alex. Really wonderful experience. Louisa says, bless you all. Okay. And bless you too. Bless you, everyone here. And now I will say, I have to leave the last word to our fabulous, wonderful songstress, Amarachi.
Ịchọghị ma ihe gburu ọchụ ịgawa n'ụzụ gaga n'ogu madịrị onye nọdebere uhie na-anụ ihe ọ na-akpọ ọja kpọlitere m mgbọrọgwụ ndị Igbo ala anyị elu ala ikuku ọkụ mmiri akụrụ akụ niile ugwu ndagwurugwu sokwa ya ala na nzakamoji n'aka na-akwalite mmụọ ọma gị ọja ogene mmiriba ịgbaghalite olu gị ana m akpọ nkụ mmụọ ebube ala nna m. I come from a people who carved strength and perseverance into symbols and buried the history of my land in lines and shapes. Igbo ala mụrụ m ala kpụrụ m Igbo ala dịbara gbogbo Igbo bụ mmụọ Igbo emika Igbo bụ dachi agụpụbakwa ya na ewu gneri ngachi jụrụ onye kọrọ ahụ na ya galaka onye shagaghị ala mechi ya niile bụ n'ụmụ ụmụ ọkwa ndị be anyị na-asị na ọnwa egbu ije dị chọta na-emechi okpome onye riri mkpụrụ ama ebile ji ibi ụgwọ Igbo anaghị eburu Igbo atiba afọ dị mkpa karịala onye osi asị obodo ya nkịta aka ji dakwa egwu atụgo ofe ebube ndị Igbo na-atụ na ọnwụ ya na-ebu m ka ma ya o nwere ka o si eme m Igbo bụ akpa na-esi anụ anụ. If I act strange, do not be dressed in storm, for in the wind of my history I sway. Codes of Nsibidi, paintings of Uli, shapes of Aroko. If I act strange, do not be dressed in storm, for in the wind of my history I sway.